Good morning, respected dignitaries, parents, invited guests, faculty and staff of TAPMI, and most importantly, the new family members of the TAPMI Management Institute, the batch 2017-19. Before we begin the program, I am Dr. Seena Biju, Chairperson, Postgraduate Program and an Associate Faculty with TAPMI. On behalf of Team TAPMI, I extend a warm welcome to all of you to the inaugural and the induction program of 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have with us two of our very successful alumni, Ms. Chandana Agarwal, batch of 95-97, and Ms. Panala Aruna, batch of 2000-2002. We are also graced to have Dr. H.S. Bilal, Pro-Chancellor, Manipal University, and member, Governing Council, TAPMI, with us. May I request our Director, Professor Madhuvira Raghavan, to kindly escort our guests onto the dais. I also request you, ma'ams and gentlemen, to kindly light the lamp to mark the commencement of this morning's ceremony. Yeah, we need one boy and one girl among the freshmen. Freshers? Yes. We have one of the boys coming forward and we have the girl coming forward. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly.
या कुंदे तुषार हार धवला या शुभ्र वस्त्रावृता या वीणा वरदंड मंडित करा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देव सदा वंदिता सा मां पातु सरस्वतीं भगवती निशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्म विचार सार परमा माद्यां जगद्वापिनीं वीणा पुस्तक धारिणीं भयदां जाड्यान्धकारापहां हस्ते स्वाटिकमालिकां विदतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदां.
Thank you, Tanya and Ajita. I now request Ms. Niharika Kaur to please welcome our chief guest, Ms. Chandana Agarwal, with a bouquet. To welcome our guest of honor, Ms. P. Aruna, with some flowers. We welcome our Governing Council member, Dr. H.S. Bilal, who's kindly accepted to preside over this inaugural ceremony, requesting Ms. Niharika to do the honors. Thank you, students. May I now request Professor Madhuvira Raghavan, Director TAPMI, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, everybody. I'm delighted to be here. Like you, this is my first induction as well as a director of TAPMI. So I'm very excited to be here. I'm not going to give you a conventional speech that directors are supposed to give. I'm going to do something very different, and I hope you can give me a few minutes of your time. So what I plan to do today is take you through why you have made an outstanding choice in coming to TAPMI first, and why TAPMI is different to many other business schools around the country. Okay, so let me start with our founder, TAPMI. I'm also honored to actually hold the foundation chair named after the founders. I also hold the TAPMI chair, Professor of Finance, and the TAPMI Trust has been very generous in giving me this wonderful title. So that's our founder. I just want to start with a couple of things. I don't know how many of you have actually had a chance to visit our website and learn a little bit about our founder. Born in 1922 in a small place called Thonse in Karnataka, as a son of Thonse Upandre Pai. Graduated in commerce in 1943 from Syndicate College of Commerce and Economics. Was appointed as the MD of Syndicate Bank. You see the extension counter in the campus, 1962. He was the chairman of the LIC by the government of India, 1970. And then in 1972, he was elected to Rajya Sabha and was appointed as the Union Minister for Railways. He was also given the Padma Bhushan by the government of India. 1980, we have the TAPMI, TAPMI Management Institute, Manipal. Okay, so that gives a little snapshot. We could talk for days about our founder, but you will see more of it in the next 2 years of your stay at TAPMI. So what is TAPMI's mission, right? So I thought I'll give you a little sense of what TAPMI's mission is. It is to excel in postgrad management, education, research, and practice. And these three are very important words, the education, research, and practice. And you will see them embedded in your curriculum in the next 2 years of your glorious time that you're going to have in this institution. Okay, let's give you a snapshot. Why is it you've made a great choice? 9,098 applicants, 3,971 interviewed, 475 admitted. If that isn't exciting, if that isn't a great achievement, then what else is? So let's congratulate. Now that you're here, what are we going to do with you? We have to do something good with you, right? So where is TAPMI going to take you? We're going to create thought leaders out of you. This is not a normal business school, my friends, and we are not teachers. We are here to transform you into the most dynamic leaders. We want you to be the chief executive officers, CFOs, CMOs, CHROs, heading boards, corporations. That's the dream we have for you, and we dare to dream. So we're going to create thought leaders. But have we created anybody in the past? Many. Here are three senior TAPMians. D.N. Prasad, the 9799 batch. He's the director of Google People Services. Rajiv Jain, who also serves in the governing council, is the MD of Bajaj Fin Services. And Sangeeta Chawla from the 9193 batch. She's a VP at Hewlett Packard. Okay, so we're creating some big leaders. We're also here to inspire innovators. And many of you are going to be amazing innovators. And so we thought we'll give you a little example of who are these people. Let's show you some senior TAPMians. I'm only going to show TAPMians here, right? Simran Bhasin, the 9901 batch. Anurag Avula, 1994 batch. Founder CEO of Shopmatic Group. And Balesh Lakshminarayanan and Anshul Jain from the 9101 batch as well. What else can we do with you? Dynamic leaders. We're going to encourage dynamic leaders. And so who are these people? Let's have a look at them. Chandana Agarwal, she's here today. C.V. Dhananjay, 94-96 batch. The CMO of Apollo. Nishant Dharwar, country head of Uber India. Jayashree Dasgupta, 98-2000 batch. Bastu Raijada, who's an ED at JP Morgan Chase. Umang Vora, CEO of Cipla. And Deepak Reddy recently became the chief human resource officer for the entire FinServ group at Bajaj FinServ. And they're all TAPMians. Now the question is, do you want to be one of these people the next few years? Congratulations. You're one step closer. You've already come to TAPMI, which means we can do something amazing with you. Like we have done with these gentlemen, these ladies, we are going to do something brilliant with you people also. So you're one step closer. I want to talk to you about graduate attributes. So what is a graduate attribute? In the last couple of months, we've been spending a lot of time looking at what is an attribute, what is a skill set, or these two different things. You know, do we ever embed them in the TAPMI curriculum? I want to give you a little snapshot about what we have in mind. We want every TAPMian to be aware of cultural awareness, global citizenship. And these are wonderful words, but don't worry. At TAPMI, we just don't use words. We use them and we embed them in the curriculum. We actually test each of these things. Professionalism, which is ethics and values. Every TAPMIan should be ethical, should have values, should be professional in his or her dealings. Social responsibility, service to community is very important. Attribute of a TAPMIan. Lifelong learning, we never stop learning, we continuously learn. Technological literacy. Initiative and problem-solving skills, right? And leadership, demonstrable leadership. We are not here to just send you in a couple of years with nothing. We want you to be leaders. We want you to be able to tackle the challenges the world is going to face, and we want you to be part of the solution to those problems. So over the next 2 years, you will see how we are going to embed these key attributes in the TAPMI curriculum. Where is TAPMI today? Ranked among the top 20 schools in the country. And that's really injustice to TAPMI because we don't belong in the top 20, we belong in the top 10. And I think in the next 3 years, we will be hitting the top 10 without any doubt. AACSB, the world's most recognized accreditation process. We have just signed up with the Beta Gamma Sigma chapter, Princeton, the Harvard, the Dukes, the Browns, the Rice have it, and we are now part of that exclusive club, which will honor you, the students, outstanding students, to be a lifelong member of the BGS Society. So from this year onwards, in fact, the current second year batch that's in, and you guys will be eligible, the top students are eligible to get into the BGS chapter. We have now signed, we are signatory to PRIME, which is the Principles for Responsible Management Education. We're an 8 star business school. We have a 42-acre stunning campus, looks like a resort. You've come to a resort to study, and that's how beautiful the campus is. And we have the state-of-the-art educational and residential facilities for you. So, what does TAPMI stand for? T is transformation. We're going to transform you, and we ourselves get transformed. A is ambition. I'm a very ambitious guy, and I want to see you have the ambition as well to achieve dizzying heights. Potential, you have the potential, we have the potential. We're a 34-year-old school, or 37-year-old school. We have a lot of potential as well. We have to grow a lot, and with you and with us, we'll grow together. Motivation. Without motivation, really can't do anything, guys, so be really motivated. And innovation. Incredibly important, right? So each of these attributes, each of these things, what we want to look in you. That's a success mantra. What are the opportunities at TAPMI? Let's have a look at some core opportunities. The LIME, which is the Literary and Media Society, SEC. You'll see Philip Franklin and Dipti Mishra and the SEC, which is the Student Executive Council, the Placement Committee, the Welfare, the ARC, the LodgeCom. There's some amazing committees that you can work, and you can show your leadership skills in those committees. We have area level, we have brand scan in the marketing forum, HR forum, Fin forum, very exciting forum, Fin forum, healthcare, ops, TSG, co-curricular. So you do a lot of SEG, student endeavor groups, Atharva, Omega, Treasury, sports. So we're just not telling you that you got to read. There are enormous opportunities for most of you to excel and show that you're just not a bookworm, but you're also a well-rounded candidate. Entities, Samnadi, which is the only student-registered fund in the country. Tomorrow, Samnadi will talk to you. TJAF is a TAPMI School of Economics and Finance, run by students. Toastmasters Club, LADC, we'll talk about it shortly. Bloomberg, TAPMI has the largest Bloomberg lab in the country with 16 terminals and 7 Reuters terminals. No school in the country can boast of this facility. So they are the kinds of opportunities you have. Let's talk about brand scan, Simon. So this is brand scan. For those of you who are going to do marketing major in the PGDM, the BKFS guys don't have the opportunity to do brand scan, I'm sorry. And the healthcare also don't have it, but the PGDM do have it. So that's Siddhant Chawla, the brand scan convener. Dr. Simon George was called the father of brand scan. Simon's here actually with us. Congratulations, Simon. And that painting that you see was done by a student called Isha Sahu. I actually wanted her here today, but she's not. She's actually in Bangalore. And she gave it to Simon, right, in your office, when she was about to leave TAPMI. So you'll see a lot of brand scan activities, also if you're in marketing, very exciting. It unravels the consumer minds, and so you can, we got a little snapshot of what brand scan actually does. LADC, it's Colonel James, who runs the LADC here at TAPMI. Kanishka is the current convener of LADC. And so we spoke about leadership. So this is one of the key aspects at TAPMI that we really talk about how do we measure, how do we create leaders, what can we do with you. And that's Leadership Assessment and Development Center, the Colonel James, who is also the director of HRA that runs this. Who are the elite recruiters? I'm sure you guys are very worried about placements, right? So I've not got an exhaustive list, but some key elite recruiters. Deloitte, EY, Goldman, Microsoft, Michael Page, IDEA, Stanchart, JP Morgan Chase, Ford, and host companies more. But this gives you a little picture of where the kind of companies that come to TAPMI. And they come to TAPMI because we have an outstanding set of talented students. And many of these are repeat. They come to TAPMI regularly, every year, and they pick TAPMIans. I just want to show you a couple of pre-placement offers. Kushal Dugar and Ankit Kishore, they've just been offered a PPO at Microsoft, 19.4 lakhs per annum. Your picture could be here next year. Don't you want to be there? Yes? You've got to work real hard, but you're going to have a lot of fun as well. I'm not done with it. Just give me a few more minutes. Indulge me for some more time. So, events at TAPMI. Please, goes forward. Okay, so Jan Feb, we have the Speed Atharva, QOTB, which is the quiz on the beach. The only school to have a QOTB. In March, April, we have the Waves, Manthan, Manishi, DeFi, all kinds of student events. In May, June, we have COPCAM, which is the confluence of banking and capital markets for the BKFS cohort that happens in Mumbai. In July, August is Genesis and Disha, big events. In September, October, we run Scope, phenomenal, truly is phenomenal, Empower, and the only school in the world, believe me guys, only school in the world to link with Bloomberg to run what is called as the TAPMI Bloomberg Olympiad. So Bloomberg never collaborated with any business school, and we are the only school that work with them very, very closely. And in November, December, we have Brand Scan, Heat, Ops Diaries, and Rubaru kind of events. So you can see the whole year is peppered with events, kinds of events that you would really enjoy. Life at TAPMI? Oh, now we have facilities at TAPMI. It's all at TAPMI. So a few more minutes. So this is the best lab that you can see in the country. 16 Bloomberg terminals, and so I'm sure you have not had a chance to visit it, but I'm sure you will, starting next week. We have the great student mess, fantastic experience, lots of food. We also have Desi Firangi lining up with charts for you in the evening. And then we have the library, the knowledge center, the ocean of knowledge, basketball courts, cricket pitch, and we also learn. Don't forget, we're also here to study. All the fun, but we also study. Okay, here it is. Now to all the parents, for the first time we're having what's called a Director Parent Connect. So this evening I'm looking forward to hosting as many parents as possible. All of my faculty colleagues are going to be there, and we very much look forward to spending some time with you and getting to know more of you and to engage with the parents. You're a key stakeholder, and we couldn't do things without your support. So we hope to see you this evening. And then what I want to say to you is work hard and play hard, right? It's a great school, guys, believe me. We are here to create some amazing people out of you, and you already are. You've taken the first best step to come to TAPMI, and it's entirely now up to us and you to work together to create tomorrow's business giants. It'd be remiss if I didn't thank the Lime Committee, specifically Sriram, whose head I ate 1,000 times to help me with the videos and the slides. Thank you for all your help. And I very much look forward to working with you all closely. Next 2 years, we'll have great times together. Thank you so much, and all the very best. And before I forget, Professor Balal, Chandan Agarwal, and Arnab Panala, thank you so much, sir. And the two TAPMians, you really want to be here in a few years' time. You know, in 10 years, we want to be able to invite you. And we want one of you to be giving the keynote address. Don't you think that'll be fun? It'll be right. So you come to the right place, you've made the absolute right choice, and I look forward to working with you very closely for the next 2 years, and also for a long period of time. Thank you so much.
May I now call upon Dr. Vishwanathan Iyer, Associate Dean Academics, to describe the batch profile of 2017.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to TAPMI. Before I proceed further, today also happens to be the Chartered Accountants Day and the National Doctors Day. So to all professional colleagues out here, Chartered Accountants as well as doctors, I wish you on this day. Today also happens to be the rollout of GST, right? So, Professor Madhu bedazzled us talking about where we want to be, or at least where this batch should be a couple of years down the line, and probably years down the line. I will tell you in the next couple of minutes where we are today. I mean, you are a special bunch of students. I'll take you through a little bit, a sneak peek into the composition of this batch. So we have 32% females in the class of 2017-19. And this has always been the tradition of TAPMI that year after year we have had at least 1/3 of the total batch being represented by females. 70% of the batch approximately comprises of engineers, the rest coming from commerce, management, sciences, arts, and medical profession. Are you guys surprised with these numbers? Okay, so 24 states of India are represented meaningfully in our campus. So in all ways, we represent India. Of the total, the top 5 states represent about 50% of the total batch of TAPMI. And probably you will learn in some of the sessions down the line, the concentration of the top few represents how well diversified we are. So the top 5 at this point of time represents the top 5 states listed over here is about 46% of the total population. Few years ago, this used to be close to 56%. So that tells us that it is not purely concentrated at the top 4 or 5 states of the country. Yeah, we have people from Manipur, Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Goa, Uttarakhand. I mean, you name the states, we have it. 1/3 of the batch comprises of freshers. The 2/3 of the batch has prior work experience. And we have a fantastic mix of people with work ex. I mean, there is a good amount of good mix of people with 2 to 3 years of work ex, 3+ years of work ex. these are some of the firms from where you currently are. Now some really special mentions. Now, toppers, gold medalists, best outgoing students, best performers, achievement in sports, these are all business as usual for TAPMI. So I was going through the profiles of the incoming batch, and here are some of the key things that I found. There are few founder CEOs amongst you, people who have started portals, people who have started enterprises and have been running it well. There are poets and writers. There are people who have written in multiple languages, Tamil, Bengali, and Hindi, which is what I could gather from your background profile. In fact, we have an author amongst us whose second edition of the book has already sold more than 2,500 copies in Amazon. Right. Some of you have been TV artists. Some of you have been patent holders and have published scientific research papers. Some of you have been design specialists. We also have people who are foreign language instructors. In fact, we have somebody who has been an expert in Japanese language and has been teaching for the last few years. And finally, I also found that there is someone in this batch who has traveled around the world for 2 years, purely based out of their own resources. It is not financed by somebody else. They managed to backpack and travel around the world. Now some last set of interesting numbers. The average age of the batch is 24. The average work ex of the batch is about 22.4 months. The languages covered in terms of various mother tongue spoken, which I could gather from your applications, numbers 20, which means we speak more than 20. These are just the mother tongue of the candidates. We all know, as Indians, we speak at least 3 languages on a given day. And the average CAT percentile of the batch has always been around 87 to 88. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the batch of 2017-19. Thank you.
We just got the batch to know that they have something really nice to fight for. They say the best way to know of a brand is to speak to someone who has used it. Now, there's no better way for an institute to know what it has to offer than to speak to its alum. Students, what more if you can hear from one of your seniors of what awaits you at TAPMI? She walked into these portals, the portals of TAPMI, in the year 1995. Much younger than how she looks today, vibrant and energetic. Her passion led her to specialize in marketing, and her passion and creativity led her into the world of advertising. She has worked across networks and cities and has been a part of many brand launches and relaunches across categories through her career. Some of them span Vistara Airlines, Honda Amaze, Dabur Chyawanprash, Voltas ACs, Royal Stag, and Philips, to name a few. She also did a stint on the client side with HMV Saregama, where she was the category head for the entire old Hindi film songs catalog, a rich heritage she thinks and believes needs attention. She is currently with O&M in Delhi and heads the advertising function for the branch. A lot of work she has created has not just worked for the brand, but has also been appreciated globally and has gone on to win an International Creative and Effectiveness Award. Her cross-country exposures has made her sensitive to different cultural nuances, and a mix of big and small agency experiences have given her both an entrepreneurial aptitude and a respect for systems and processes. A seasoned advertising professional, she believes that one has to be engaged with life at multiple levels to be able to create anything that connects with people, be it reading psychology, indulging in amateur painting, or pursuing her training as a Kathak dancer. She keeps her interests alive. And as she maintains that advertising is a part of the popular culture being created all around and draws its inspirations from the other forms, she incidentally is also a huge fan of Bachchan Sahab, who she believes is phenomenal in influencing her. You may want to check out how. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Miss Chandana Agarwal. Thank
Thank you, a very warm welcome. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to be standing here. As the director sir was talking about TAPMI, I just so wish I could be in your place and be a student again. While I was here many, many years back, I sense the same excitement, I see the same anticipation, I almost smell the same magic. So TAPMI is magical because it transforms people. I came here as an average student from an average background, and I passed out as a person far more confident and a professional who could hold her own. So how does this transformation happen? What is it that TAPMI does? If I was to summarize this, I think what it does is that it kicks out the ladder from under your feet constantly. It sounds scary, right? It is. I think the idea is to be able to put positive pressure to propel each one of us to rise to higher standards. I want you to have a look at the stage at this clip, and we'll talk about it in a minute.
Kicking out the ladder?
Kicking out the ladder?
Kick out the ladder sounds like a bad thing.
My interpretation of that phrase is you're already up a couple rungs on the ladder, and they sweep it out from under you.
You're always at the top of the ladder when they kick it out from underneath you.
Now, if you run into a tough situation, it's very tempting to just say, well, let's just not do this, or let's take the easy path. But if all you have is the hard path, you just got to keep going. Sometimes promising to do things that you don't know how to do or aren't sure how to achieve yet really kind of create some of the pressure that you need to drive yourself to actually do them.
2階に上げてはしごを外せと、さらに火をつけろ。
I think what I take out of it is that if you promise to do things that you don't know how, it helps to put pressure to find a way to achieve them. I think this is how the transformation really happens. So I'm not going to stand here and tell you that the friends that you make here will last you a lifetime. I've got a bunch of friends who've come down specifically for this day today, so that kind of shows that. And I'm not going to tell you that healthy minds live in healthy bodies, because I want to talk of 2 or 3 big things that I wish somebody had told me many years back. But before I go down to doing this, I want to share something personal with you. So, as in my introduction, I've always been very, very fond of dancing, and I couldn't pursue it when I was a student. So when I kind of took up a job in Delhi, I started learning Kathak, and because it was something that I always wanted to do, I gave it my all, and I guess because I gave it my all, I was good at it, and because I was good at it, my Guruji started paying extra attention to me. Now, all of this should have been good, right? But it wasn't good. It turned out to be bad because the owner of the school threw me out as she saw competition in me. To cut a long story short, today I run a Kathak Academy with my career, where we have about 30-odd students. We performed live last year, and my students are appearing for their theory and practical exams today from Allahabad Prayag Sangeet Samiti. I'll just share a couple of clips because this is an extremely important part of my life, and then we'll talk of why I'm speaking about it. Yeah. So this is just a snapshot of the students. The point that I wanted to make here is that there are doers and there are talkers, and we need to figure out where we want to be and work towards being that. However, I think the more nuanced point is that the professional you become will be a mirror image of the person that you choose to become. There are no boundaries. So if you are a talker or a doer in one aspect of your life, chances are you'll be one in all aspects of your life. And while TAPMI will do everything it can to sculpt a terrific professional out of you, I think the onus is on us to kind of be conscious of the person that we are becoming. So I think while it's important to be a doer, I think it's more important to kind of work in the right direction. While the world works with a clock, I think we need to work with a compass. Towards that, I just want to talk of 3 things. I want to talk of leadership qualities, like the director sir was mentioning, and just focus on 3 of them. I think the first big thing for me is that leadership mindset, firstly, is not about your position in the hierarchy. It's about a mindset, it's about an attitude, it's about a set of behaviors. And I'll talk of 3 of them, and because I come from advertising, I'll demonstrate them through brands and brand behaviors. For me, the single most important thing is to be able to see an opportunity in crisis. In the year of our placements, there were only 2 big marketing companies that came, and I didn't crack a job with either of them. So I was heartbroken, I thought my life was over, I was crestfallen, I was crying, I was almost ashamed to face people. So my dad called me up one evening and he said, "What's all this crying about?" And I said, "You know, my career is over." So my dad said, "A company only gives you a job. You make a career out of it on your own. So nobody has the right to take away your career from you." It got me to kind of think about what I really wanted to do, and I decided that what I really wanted to do was to be in advertising. So I went to Bangalore, I went cold calling to advertising agencies. I landed a job with FCB Ulka, and it's been an interesting journey so far. If I was to talk of brands, one second, if I was to talk of brands, in the 90s, or before the 90s, Cadbury's Dairy Milk chocolates, like all other chocolates, was a snack option for children. When the economy opened up in 1990s, children had too many other options, like the Kurkures and the Lays of the world, and Cadbury's market shares declined. However, instead of kind of losing faith, it decided to recraft itself. It decided to kind of reposition itself. I'm going to play a piece of work which has been seminal in Cadbury's journey, and it's one of the most enjoyable pieces of work.
कुछ खास है हम सभी में, कुछ बात है हम सभी में, बात है खास है, कुछ स्वाद है, क्या स्वाद है जिंदगी में।
कैडबरीज डेयरी मिल्क, असली स्वाद जिंदगी का।
Yeah, so it kind of transformed the brand from a brand for kids to a brand that stood for adult spontaneity, and there's been no looking back for Cadbury's. I think the other big point about leadership, what happened? What is it? The other big point about leadership is to be able to break stereotypes, to be able to break paradigms, to not have sacred cows really. So it's about setting new rules rather than playing to old ones. It's about getting new rules going, like I said. Have a look at this piece of work and we'll talk about it in a second.
भाई औरत का धर्म के होया करे, सूरज फूटने से पहले उठ जाना, पूजा पाठ करना और साफ सफाई करके चूल्हे चौके में लग जाना। यूं ही करने के लिए बनी से औरत, कसरत कुश्ती के लेना। यो मर्दों वाली चीज है, इसमें ताकत और कलेजा लागे, और लंगोट पहन लेने से कुछ नहीं होता। मर्द बनने के लिए मर्द बन के पैदा होना पड़े। और कौन से शास्त्रों में लिखा है भाई कि औरत भी दंगल लड़ सके? अरे लिखाई होता तो द्रौपदी खुद ना भिड़ जाती दुर्योधन से। गाय जितना भी घूम ले खूंटा तोड़ के नहीं जाती। घर की लक्ष्मी घर में ही अच्छी लागे, और जो लक्ष्मण रेखा पार करके जाएगी तो सारे कुल की नाक कटाएगी।
So I think this ad beautifully demonstrates how stereotype of what being a woman is in Indian society, what is expected out of her, and how it breaks that. But I think the nuanced point is about being able to create a point of view, being able to believe in it, and being able to stand up for it, because there are multitude of stereotypes around us, and breaking one just for the heck of it is not going to take us anywhere. So develop a point of view, build it, fight for it, stand up for it, only then it's going to make a difference. And I think the last point about having a leadership mindset is really about being inspirational. It's about moving from the here and now. It's about seeing the big picture. It's about making an impact. It's about standing for something higher. Have a look at this piece of work. This has worked tremendously well for this brand. In fact, every time this brand faces a challenge, it goes back to this piece of work, and it kind of works wonders for them.
गगन गुजा, नदी बहा, पवन चला, विजय तेरी हो जय तेरी, ज्योति सी चला चला, भुजा भुजा फड़क फड़क, रक्त में धड़क धड़क, धनुष उठा प्रहार कर, तू सबसे पहले वार कर, अग्नि सा धधक धधक, हिरण सा सजग सजग, सिंह सी दहाड़ कर, शंख सी पुकार कर, रुके न तू, थके न तू, झुके न तू, थमे न तू, सदा चले थके न तू, रुके न तू, झुके न तू। शक्ति, अंदरूनी शक्ति, डाबर च्यवनप्राश की अंदरूनी शक्ति, रहो जिंदगी के लिए हरदम तैयार।
From a brand and a category that stood for immunity from cold and cough, this helped transform the brand to a brand that stood for immunity from Kalyug. I mean, how much higher can you go? So I think this was the magical world of brands that I come from. Talking of Mr. Bachchan, like I said, Mr. Bachchan has had a huge impact on my life. In fact, in my deepest, darkest moments, I kind of think about him and it gives me inspiration. And it's not a street persona. So the fact that he came back from his deathbed in 1982, the fact that he has a debilitating disease of the nervous order and he leads a life more hectic than you and me, the fact that he was bankrupt when he was 60 and he decided to claw back and to kind of leave a legacy for his family, I think these are great, great brand behaviors. I think it's very important to have heroes whose feet are not made of clay. It's important to kind of get inspired from their life. It's important to read about them, absorb things, to aim high, to kind of uncover ourselves, to rediscover ourselves, to build ourselves, to rebuild ourselves, and all of that. Let no one set your boundaries, and then all I would like to say is, कौन कहता है आसमान में छेद नहीं हो सकता? एक पत्थर तो तबीयत से उछालो यारों. Thank you. Have a ball.
Thank you so much, Ms. Chandana. What do the words risk, treasury, capital, compliance, and regulators bring to your mind? If you're thinking finance, then you're absolutely right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our privilege to have with us today Ms. Pannala Aruna, alumnus of the 2002 batch of TAPMI. From being a student who specialized in finance and strategy, Aruna has grown in over 15 years of experience working with financial service companies in treasury, risk, and process consulting. She is currently working as a director in risk advisory practice with the Deloitte, one of the largest professional services, a firm in Mumbai. During her tenure with the firm, she has led multiple risk compliance and capital management projects and has also worked with senior management on governance-related matters. She has an experience with large multinational banks and regulators in India, Middle East, and Europe. She was with the Deloitte India lead for risk and capital management platform for Asia Pacific for 4 years since 2012. She currently leads the advisory on expected credit loss-based provisions under the revised accounting standards IND AS and leads the firm's efforts on robotic process automation for risk advisory. Career highlights include leading a transformational project with the Reserve Bank of India on supervisory approach for inspecting banks in this country, setting up risk, compliance, and treasury for payment, small finance, and foreign banks. She has participated in marathons and ultra-marathons and believes in the adage, fit body is fit mind. Loves to read books on history, emerging technologies, and like most of us, old Hindi film music. Students, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Aruna Pannala so we can hear from her.
Good morning. It feels so good to be here. It was more than 17 years ago that I was one of you guys, never expected to come here. But thank you very much for the honor. I think when Madam Sina and I received your mail from you, it was an unexpected honor and a surprise. And I'm very happy I made this trip. and to be in the august company of course, the professors, but more importantly, all of you. I was looking at the profile of the batch of 2017-19. My God. You already are achievers. And I'm sure with the curriculum, the programs that are ahead of you for the next 2 years, you're only going to get it better and better at it. And very soon, you don't have to take 15 years like me to get here onto the stage, maybe just a couple of years. And you're going to be addressing the batch of 2020 possibly, and telling them how excited you were to be here in this room, and how far you've got already. Best of luck for that. You know, before me was Ms. Agarwal, and again, mind-blowing, because she was able to manage both a very successful professional career and a very successful, I dare not say it's extracurricular, but another passion of your life. I think it's commendable. And in this company of very, very successful people, what I wanted to share with you is only some fun stories from my life in college. I think it'll be silly of me to talk about any achievements. My profile read like a very boring, long journal of risk and compliance. So what I would want to pep this talk with is some of the exciting moments I've had in this institute. You know, I came in yesterday and in the evening, and I wanted to see how the campus really looked like. Some of you got impressed with the campus, haven't you, when you say out with the truth. Some of you saw the campus on the brochure and said, this is the campus I want to be in. Yes or no? Great, because the campus I studied in was nothing like that. It was, I'm not sure either which way, but a fairly rundown building with some construction activity going on just behind this hall. And wow, it was nostalgic. I remember, you know, in the videos that Professor Madhu showed, there was that girl who came in 1 minute late. I used to be there all the time. We had to walk about 1 kilometer or so from the hostel after lunch, and what a pain it was, and come running up the stairs, two floors, and then perpetually late to the class. Either that, or skip lunch, sit as a backbencher, you know, and the rains, right? Look at the rains and doze off. That used to be what I would do. I'm not sure how I got this far talking about risk and finance and compliance, really. And the first thing that hit me when I came to TAPMI, and I come from a fairly dry, what should I say, dry weather, Hyderabad, right? It rains for like all of 2 months, and that's about it. We forget about the rains. And when I first landed here, it was dark, gloomy, pouring all the time. And my God, that's some chirpiness and some bright sunshine there. But when we went to the hostel, we were welcomed with insects that were as big as table tennis balls. I'm not kidding. And not just 1 or 2 of them, the whole floor. Ah, God. And this was me just coming for the first time in my life out of home, and I was like, what did I do? Is this the right thing? I was excited about staying away. I mean, come on, 20 years of my life I lived at home, so it was, I was very keen to get out of home, but is this what I wanted to do? Oh God. And then a bunch of people I've never met in my life. I had a fairly protected childhood, so, and very loving parents and family, and here I was, a completely alien environment. Everybody trying, and in the company of, you know, all of you are already very bright, so were my classmates, much brighter than me. So here I was, trying to cope with the insects, cope with the rains. I was perpetually late to the classes, and the classmates who are much smarter than me, and all of us trying to get that one job that makes us all proud, and be there on the screens, 19.4 lakhs. Congratulations on that one. But yeah, we all wanted that. I wanted that too. I was some kind of a super achiever in my own small world when I came to TAPMI, and here I was. A humbling experience, really. I'm sure you will find amongst yourselves people who have their own achievements to talk about, who are as good, if not more, than yourself. And I think the important part was to keep doing it, to keep what you're good at, continue to do what you do, so that never lose heart and do what you do, and you will get ahead for sure, right? I think that was one of the learnings for me, to say that you will always find smarter people than you everywhere, and the important part is not lose heart. The first month was, I come from, 17 years ago, I'm not sure how the curriculum is today, but 17 years ago, my curriculum when I graduated was simply go to college at 9, finish it by about 4 o'clock, do your homework, go back and write your exams every month or every quarter, and that was college for me, right? I'm sure now it's fairly extracurricular. So when I graduated from a college like that and came to TAPMI, it was classes where the professor expected you to come prepared for the class with the assignment, and would have already worked with your core group. I don't know if the concept still exists, but work with a core group of people who you don't really barely know, do the assignments together with them, and then come to the class and address the students about a topic you barely read last night. And so have all the rest of them. So they have very smart questions. So that was that. And then first month we had to contend with what was episode. It was an extracurricular program where you had to work with your seniors. It was a fun event, supposedly. It was over I think a week or 2 weeks, we had to attend the classes from 8:30 or 9 in the morning till whenever you had the classes, you can't miss them, and work with your seniors and organize some fun events. It's actually a competition of sorts. The entire college was divided into groups, and you had to win the competition no matter how, because you're all winners here, ambitious people. And then you had to do your class assignments, and you had to go back to write class tests. And of course, class participation did have some marks. You couldn't sleep in the class, though some of us were caught napping. But that was the life, the first month, and I barely got adjusted to the rains and the insects, and here I was talking to complete strangers. I'm quite an introvert, so I couldn't cope with the fact that I had to talk to people I never knew in the past, and my seniors that do talk to them, do skits extempore, on the extempore, prepare for my classes, do my assignments with the core group I barely knew, and I had to depend on them to save my skin the next day in the class. And well, that was exciting, that was fun, but if 17 years later, if I still remember that, I'm sure that must have left a mark with me. What I really learned from that, if I look back, is that it's important to be able to trust another person to do good, unless proven otherwise. To be able to trust so that you are able to get ahead. And it's only group work, teamwork that really helped us survive. We would not have been able to complete assignments in all the subjects and do the coursework and do the pre-reads for the next day and prepare for the skits and try and win. I think we came last that time, not sure. But nevertheless, I'm very proud of it. The next thing that we did, exciting one, and that again for the first time I did, I hope I'm not boring you with my stories, because you will live some of these yourself. You better pay attention to what I say. So one of the other things that we did was outbound program. At that time, I think this concept was sold to all the parents who wanted their kids to join this program as the only program for any B school where your kids will learn from the nature as well. Sure we did. So in December, in Bangalore, there's nip in the air, right? It's quite cold. It definitely was. There was more vegetation at the time. So on the outskirts of Bangalore, we had a forest, and we were to spend 1 week in the forest. This was the first time some of us even stepped out into the wilderness. 1 week with, again, sleeping in tents, no beds, nothing, sleeping in tents, climbing the mountains, 3,000 feet, 3,000 meters, if that's what you call a mountain, but yeah, at that time it did seem daunting. So we did climb that, and 1 week later when we came back, and we had to do a night trek as well with our shoddy equipment. We did a night trek as well, and the groups were left to themselves to fend for themselves, no trek organizer or anything like that. It was us trying to survive in the wilderness, of course in groups. So when I came back, quite dirty, my mom and my dad picked me up from the station, and my mom barely could sit next to me in the taxi. Completely, she had a mask, I think, covering her nose. She only sat next to me because I was her dear child. I was dirty. No bath, nothing for about a week, and this is the first experience I've had. I've never done this in the past before. So when somebody said, kick the ladder, expect the unexpected. Never expected to do this. Never thought going to study a management program would make me go to mountains and walk through, again, slush and eat food that we cooked. Oh my God. And we did that. And after that, believe you me, I thoroughly enjoyed that program. And after that, I've gone on so many treks. Some of you from, the Sahyadris, etc., you already would have done that. But 17 years ago, that was a new concept at the time. I came from Hyderabad, never did that. So for me, that was a unique, novel experience, and I did that, and I loved it. And after that, I've been a regular trekker, and I must thank TAPMI for introducing me to wilderness, and I honestly do. And we did what was a cross-country run. I was some kind of a sports girl in school, so I always fancied myself to be a sprinter. Usain Bolt, well, at that time it was Jesse Owens. But yeah, that inspired me, and I thought I was a sprinter. And then TAPMI had another curveball at me, and they said, no sprints, it is cross-country runs. And I said, well, I know running, I'm a sports person, I'm fit, I can do this. So there we were, some 20, 30 of us who signed up for it, and then we were running. I gasped after 100 meters, I stopped. And the others were running ahead, and I felt miserable. I felt humiliated because the entire class knew I got some sports girl award, and here I am panting by the sidelines, and they were getting ahead. Another humbling experience. Everything that I thought I was good at, I was no good. Clearly there were better people. So what that meant was I started training. That was my first hour cross country, but after that I started training, and now I've successfully run a few marathons. What that means was, what marathons have taught me, I'm not sure that cross country did, that was a humbling experience. But what marathons have really taught me is to be at it again. It's all in the mind, be at it, and you will do it. You got to train for it, you got to be fit, but you can accomplish your goal, whatever that you set your minds on. And what that means is once you know where you want to go, even though there will be some hurdles, some hiccups, keep your end in the mind and you will get there. Why did all of you join the PGDM or the healthcare or the BKFS program? A good job? A good job? Friends for a lifetime, is it? Is that why you joined this program? Well, whatever your objective is, you will get a lot more than that. I can assure you that. You'll get a lot more than that in terms of the experiences that you'll take back, and you'll be far more enriched than what you collectively already, sorry, never learned this. Far more, you're going to learn far more from the 2 years that you will spend your time with exciting minds, exciting curriculum, and the professors who are going to hold your hand. I hope, because they never did. They only said, okay, present the case and we'll poke holes into it. Yeah. So the one last thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the placement season. I was a pretty average student, as you might have already noticed. Always late to the class, which meant half the classes I never attended. And the ones I attended, I used to stare out of the window or sleep. And placements were very important, and we got to that season. I just stumbled from one room to the other, never made it. And like Ms. Agarwal mentioned, I was ashamed to face my parents. It was humiliating to go back and say, listen, you spent all this money, I never made anywhere. But life had different things in store. That year was a horrible year for all of us. It was 2002. 2001 was when 9/11 happened, and 2002, I didn't think anything would happen to me. I was invincible, but it did. Jobs came later. So finally got myself a job, a good one, and thanks to TAPMI, really, we had to travel to Chennai. We got decently placed, but that was my stepping stone for the rest of my career. For so far that I've got here. That is really what I wanted to say as far as some of the fun things at TAPMI are. I'm told, yesterday when I wanted to visit the TAPMI campus, one of the first things that the driver told me was, TAPMI, they have a very good canteen. You must try. So I said, hopefully, but there you go. Nutrition is not a problem for you. And exciting times. It's a fantastic and a beautiful place here. Open your minds to learning and you'll get there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ladies. I'm sure with you endorsing life at TAPMI, our new family members are a little closer to reality now. May I now request Dr. H.S. Bilal to kindly present a memento to Ms. Chandana and Ms. Aruna as a token of our gratitude and appreciation. Nothing is more overwhelming for this institution than to be with its students and to have them come and let us know of their affection. Ms. Chandana and Ms. Aruna, we are very thankful and grateful to you and truly appreciate you taking out time to be with us and for giving us your insights and for letting us know that it's not going to be a rosy walk and that we have to be ready for that world outside. May the grace of God be always with you. Thank you so much. The pleasure is ours, ma'am. We have a very important event lined up for today. Professor Simon, Professor and Dean Academics at TAPMI, has written a book, Cases in Brand Management and Services Marketing, with an intention to connect concepts in brand management and services marketing to practice through a pedagogy of case method of teaching. There are 15 cases in this book, all written on several live managerial dilemmas and situations faced by managers in their organizations pertaining to the areas of brand management and services marketing. The cases are meant to strengthen the problem identification and problem-solving skills of the present and future managers in these two areas. These cases have rigorously been following a symptom, problem, alternative solutions framework. They are broadly categorized under consumer products and service products. In the consumer products category, it covers a wide range of products in the industries like furnishing, personal care, kitchen products, wellness products, food, magazines, etc. The cases in the service product category include industries like hospitals, hotels, airline ticketing, banks, events, and e-commerce. Professor George has run all the cases in classes before having it sent for publication with the Manipal University Press, Manipal. The book has undergone very rigorous process of reviewing and editing before publishing. We wish for Professor Simon that this book facilitates teaching and learning in an effective way. Congratulations, sir. May I now request Dr. Bilal to please release the book. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for Professor Simon. Thank you very much, sir. All the best for your book. He has been our guiding light. When in need, he has played mentor, advisor, leader, and taskmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, I request Dr. H.S. Balal, Pro-Chancellor of Manipal University and member of the Governing Council TAPMI, to please deliver his presidential address.
Thank you, our MC Seena Biju, distinguished dignitaries on the dais, invitees, members of the faculty of TAPMI, the brides and bridegrooms of 2017 and 19 batch, the students who are going to be inducted, the parents of the students, members of the press and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen. Madhu actually, when he invited me, he said, you have to just sit there, sir, and felicitate these two brilliant old students who are going to be the guests of today, and of course, release Professor Simon's book. Now he says, I have to say a few words also. You know, it seems there are two difficult things to perform in one's life. One is to speak after brilliant orators like our two guests that we have, and to climb a fence that is leaning towards you. So I am in that position. Anyway, my congratulations to all the new inductees of 2017-19 batch of TAPMI Management Institution, which is a very, very prestigious institution. Congratulations to all of you and wish you good luck. And number two is I would like to congratulate the parents, because it is because of the parents' hard work, perseverance that you are here. As a matter of fact, I always say it is the parents who enjoy the induction ceremony and the graduation ceremony more than the graduates or the students. So congratulations, because I always say the best gift that a parent can give to his child is providing education, because that nobody can snatch it from you. If you give money, jewelry or anything, somebody can snatch it from you. But education, nobody can snatch it from you. That's what the parents have done. And my dear students, it is your responsibility that you should live up to their expectations, which I am sure you will do. And also, they do this because in India, unlike the Western world, the parents educate the children by paying their fees and other by their hard-earned money, which does not happen in the Western world. All the more reason that you should live up to their expectations and look after them when they become old. So I am very sure that you will look after them very well. Now your director, Madhu, has said two points he stressed. One is learning is a continuous process. Absolutely true. But I am sure he meant it for the teachers, faculty of TAPMI Management Institution, because you are just starting to learn, you know. It's a very valid point that learning is a continuous process. Once you get your degree or diploma, whatever you should not think that I know everything in the world. No. Because things change so fast. They say half of what you know is proved wrong in a year's time. So and unfortunately, we do not know which half it is. That's the reason we have to keep ourselves abreast with what's happening in your area of specialty. That's meant for teachers. Now for students, you know, he said you do not want them to be bookworms. That does not mean you should not study at all. You should. Because that should be your prime importance, because you are, as I said, you are spending the hard-earned money of your parents, and you should get out of this institution in 2 years' time. That is the course of your doing. But it is very important that you should involve yourself in co-curricular, extracurricular. See, one of our guests was a big Kathak dancer. The other one, he said, the country race, cross-country race. See, I am very happy to inform you that last year we have started this Manipal Marathon, where Manipal University is the main sponsors, and it's going to be an annual event. And we will invite you for next year's Manipal Marathon. So what Madhu said was, in addition to your academic activities, it's very important that you should involve yourself in co-curricular, extracurricular activities, because we strongly feel it will help in the overall development of your personality. That's the reason why he was stressing on that. And your director of admission director Vishwanathan Iyer said 32% of the students are girls. I expect it to be more. Because why I say that, our former president, Abdul Kalam, who is no more with us, he always used to say, his dream, he always used to say, you should dream big. And he used to like the children very much because they are going to the future of our country, and you, my dear students who are going to be inducted today, are going to be the future managers of our country. And he used to say that my country should become a developed country by the year 2020. If that were to happen, he was always saying, it is very important that we educate our girls and bring them to the mainstream. I always feel girls are more smarter than boys. Because I attend a lot of convocations, graduation ceremonies where the prize winners, I tell you, are more girls than boys. So that's a warning signal for the boys to wake up, because when I say extracurricular activities, you shouldn't go too much into it. You must strike a balance between the two. So I'm really very happy, my dear friends, to participate in this induction ceremony of this very, very important institution, because TAPMI, Madhu said it's within the top 20 in the country, top 20 B schools, because we have nearly 4,000 schools in this country. And his ambition or future aspiration to see that it is within the top 10. I always say reaching the top is difficult, but to remain in that position is still more difficult. But we have been able to maintain that below 20 level for the last so many years. That is mainly, I feel, because of the quality of the faculty and the students that we have. I'm sure with the dedicated faculty and the quality students that we have, because out of 3,900 interviewed, only 400 were selected. That shows the quality, I'm sure we will be able to reach that within the top 10. So with these few words, ladies and gentlemen, I wish our young students who are going to be inducted a great future, very happy, have a very, very happy stay here in Manipal. See, we in Manipal, because this is part of Manipal University, because I belong to Manipal University and also I am associated with TAPMI. And we have state-of-the-art facilities, both for teaching and extracurricular activities at Manipal University, which I am sure all of you should go and see. We have state-of-the-art indoor sports facility called Marina. 150,000 square feet we have, basically to see that you are involved in these physical activities, and that facility is available for all the TAPMI students also. And I am sure you will utilize this. Wish you a very, very happy stay and have a great future. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, for your best wishes and blessings. I now invite Professor Simon, Dean Academics and Professor at TAPMI, to please deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning to all of you. Let me first congratulate each member of the student of the new batch for joining one of the best B schools in the country. On behalf of TAPMI, I also congratulate the parents who supported your decision. As said earlier, this is the 35th batch of PGDM and 8th batch of HCM and 4th batch of BKFS that are being welcomed in TAPMI. Today, each one of you start a new journey, which I hope and believe is going to greatly influence the future direction that you are going to take. Let me take hence the opportunity to thank Dr. H.S. Ballal, Pro-Chancellor of Manipal University, and also the governing and trust of TAPMI for gracing the occasion and presiding over this function. Dr. Ballal had been a pillar of strength and support to TAPMI in its growth and evolution over the years. So thank you for being here and being present for all these special moments of TAPMI. I feel especially proud to see and have Chandana here, and she was my student of 1997. I feel especially honored too, and I am proud the way that she has grown over the years to head the Ogilvy Matter of Delhi, and we have seen the wonderful and inspiring message that she shared. Thank you, Chandana, for being here, and hope her life and what she did also is a great inspiration to the students who have joined TAPMI now. I also feel proud that Aruna is here because she was my student of 2002, and I was amazed the way that she has grown. I remember she was an athlete and she continued to do so, and then Aruna, thank you for the small stories that you shared about TAPMI. There are much more stories that I thought you will share. Good that you didn't share. Yeah, TAPMI was started becoming much tougher during those times. So I think Chandana and Aruna, their stories, their life stories, and how they grew professionally is a great inspiration for each one of you, how the world outside, and it's a great motivation for you to work hard to reach where they have reached or even much more. So thank you once again to both of them being chief guest and guest of honor for this very special event. Though he's part of us, Madhu, the director of TAPMI, we don't have to thank, but then I could see that again, he had a very strong guidance of how this induction should go, and he has made to see that again, it is so meticulous and it made so memorable, and he also confessed that this is his first induction as director itself. Thank you, Madhu, for the wonderful guidance that you have given for making it. I especially thank Professor Sina, who is the PGP chairman, and his team of PGP staff, administrative staff consisting of Naik, Parimala, Anand, Harish, for making also this a very special function. Thank you each one of the faculty members for your presence, and also staff for making this function very special. And it is rich TAPMI's tradition that the second year students give a strong guidance to the first year whenever they join, and this tradition is continued. And I also thank the second year student volunteers for cooperating and making it such a grand function with all the arrangements. Last but not the least, thank you each one of the student members, the new batch, as well as parents, for being here and taking a decision to join TAPMI and have faith in TAPMI, and then decision to grow future through the 2 years of life in TAPMI. All the very best to each one of you. This is a special occasion for me personally. As you know, the book was released, and it's a result of 6 years of my work and effort. I thank God for equipping me for writing this book. It contains, as Professor Sina described, 15 companies and brands, and I was privileged that all the 15 companies cooperated with me, giving the data to write this case, and hope it will be useful for the teacher as well as the learner. In this context, I would like to specially thank once again Dr. H.S. Ballal for agreeing to be here and agreeing to release the book through this induction program itself. So, I will always remember this, and your presence made me very special too. Thank you, sir, for being here. I thank Dr. Neeta Inamdar, the head of Manipal University Press, which is called MUP, and her team consisting of Gracie, Arvind, Revati, and the others, for bringing out this book so beautifully well in such a short time. This book is a great tribute, it's a tribute to all the alumni whom I taught in the last 26 years, over 29 batches, as well as my faculty colleagues past and present, who inspired and motivated to come out this book. But without their motivation, inspiration, I don't think I would have completed this book. So thank each one of my faculty past and present colleagues, as well as all the batches whom I taught in the last 26 years, over 29 batches, for motivating me to complete book, and thank each one of you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I request all of you to kindly arise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय जय जय